There's one thing that everyone agrees on about the shooting death of 23-year-old Tommy McClain. It was a tragic loss of life that should have been avoided. But the agreements on what happened on the night of September 17th of last year end there. 3 Eureka police officers were seeking a warrant suspect who lived on Allard Street in South Eureka. Tommy McClain, who is a neighbor of the suspect, came home around midnight and stepped onto his front porch to smoke a cigarette.
Shots fired. One down. All officers are code 4. Request medical code 3.
Within 3 minutes of being contacted by the police, Tommy McClain lay dead with multiple gunshot wounds on the lawn outside his house. According to the police, McClain had been carrying a realistic-looking BB gun and was reaching for it when they shot him. However, the family has maintained that McClain was unarmed with his hands up when he was shot and that officers' orders were difficult to understand. McClain usually wore hearing aids, but was not wearing them the night he was killed. In the months following McClain's death, a law enforcement task force investigated the shooting and found no criminal charges against the officers. Just last month, a board of city officials convened by Eureka Police Chief Andy Mills to review the McClain shooting concluded that the department did not require any policy changes or additional training in the wake of McClain's death. After Mills unveiled his plan to create a chief's advisory board, some Eureka residents were concerned that the proposed board would have no power to discipline officers or change department policy. For more coverage of the investigation into Tommy McClain's death, visit kmud.org and listen to the news on February 20th. Now, the McClain family is seeking $10 million in damages in a civil rights and wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Eureka. Attorney Dale Gallipo is representing the McClain family and is best known locally for securing a historic $4.5 million judgment against Eureka in the case of Martin Cotton. Eureka City Council voted unanimously on Tuesday to reject the claim for damages and take the lawsuit to court. Here are some of the community members who spoke at Eureka City Council in support of settling the lawsuit before taking it to trial. Local musician Sarah Torres read a poem about Tommy McClain, written by his aunt.
He was still 19 when he moved up to Eureka to live with family, get a good job, and begin to prepare for his future. He loved it up here. He got a good roofing job and was able to get him and his family a place to live, the very place where he was killed. Tommy has never been a threat. He is loving and caring. He was out with family celebrating his cousin's birthday and his life was taken short. Minutes before he was killed, he was posting on Facebook, thanking his family for the good celebration they had just had. Tommy was and is a good person. He always will be.
If Tommy had had a weapon in his belt, we'd have seen pictures of that all over the front page of the newspaper. It would have been on every newscast. Instead, the next day you come and find a weapon after searching his house.
Eureka has the highest per capita rate of killings by police of any California city. Higher than Compton, higher than Sacramento, higher than Oakland. What kind of climate must exist in a community for these killings to happen with such frequency? If police, like those in Eureka, are allowed to violate people's civil rights with unwarranted stops, unreasonable searches and seizures, false arrests, and excessive uses of force in their daily activities, it appears that those practices lead to high rates of killings by those same police.
That was Liz Gerhardt. The report she's talking about was authored by the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice, a San Francisco-based nonprofit serving youth. The study found that while urban areas have higher overall numbers of police shootings, rural communities tend to experience higher rates of killing when examined on a per capita basis. However, the report acknowledges that statistics on police shootings are highly underreported. In a speech at Georgetown University, FBI Director James Comey acknowledged the need for better reporting of police killing statistics nationwide.
It's ridiculous that I can't tell you how many people were shot by the police in this country. Last week, last year, the last decade. It's ridiculous.
Ferguson has sparked a nationwide dialogue on police violence, resulting in the creation of a presidential task force, as well as a recent Department of Justice report finding that the Ferguson Police Department routinely violated African Americans' civil rights. Hiding behind the Redwood Curtain, Eureka has been largely sheltered from the winds of change sweeping law enforcement policy nationwide. As the McClain lawsuit unfolds over the next few years, perhaps the conversation will happen at the speed of Humboldt County. Reporting for KMUD News, this is Alma Tierney.